Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi babes, it's me again Farida Yulianing Tyas on your screen. By this opportunity, I will present an academic text that is a journal for you. Please, wait a minute. I beg you to keep watching this video because it doesn't sound boring as you hear. You need to know the topic I'll bring today. It's kind of like a unique one. Did you ever hear and use the phrase of inshallah? As a Muslim, it is very usual phrase that we will use to make a promise or even use as a reason to avoid something. Is it right? And if you want to know from the perspective of pragmatic study, there's will more meaning to the inshallah phrase. See, it doesn't sound interesting, guys? Alright, keep watching then, and I will start the explanation. The journal that I'll review today is about pragmatic function of inshallah in Indonesian speeches. The author of this journal is Mr. Hendy Pratama, which is a lecturer from UNES Semarang University. I followed him on Instagram and YouTube because he is kinda great lecturer, and because of him, start from the first semester, I like to read a study about pragmatics. For the reviewer, it's me. Just skip for this one. Continue to the table of content, which are number 1, introduction, number 2, question or problem, number 3, the summary of author's theoretical framework, number 4, explain about the method the author used, and the last is findings and suggestion. Introduction. Here, the reason of the author to did the research that I found on his introduction. First, inshallah is an iconic phrase from Arabic, has been adopted into many languages including Indonesia. According to Cliff and Helani, inshallah literally means God willing. In Indonesian, inshallah means if Allah allows, by Tim Pusat Penyusun Kamus. Although the semantic meanings of inshallah is relatively simple, its usage in real life is quite complex. The use of inshallah is a way to curse someone was also identified in Al-Ghazali's study on Arabic speaker in Iraq. Inshallah tamut means I wish you will die. This study is unique because the use of inshallah to curse is presumably difficult to be obtained in Indonesian context. Secondly, studies of both semantic and pragmatic analysis of inshallah in the Indonesian context are still limited. Susanto did an analysis of inshallah as a feature of code switching. However, the analysis was only sociolinguistic in nature. Ibrahim also see inshallah as a code switching phenomenon rather than a pragmatic one. Next is a deeper analysis about inshallah function was done, but it was not in the Indonesian context. It was done by Nazal. He analyzed the pragmatic function of inshallah phrase in the Arabic context of Arabic speakers, that in general, he found that Arabic native speakers use inshallah as a device to solve their doubt of the consequence of their future commitment. A conversation analysis done by Cliff and Helani showed that inshallah has become a part of both Arabic and non-Arabic daily interaction. Using conversation analysis, Cliff and Helani argued that inshallah could function as a signal to end a conversation, as a marker to give hope to the future desired outcomes, to maintain the ongoing topic being discussed, and to signal a new topic. At this point, there is only a little difference between the two analyses have been done. And the last reason is to explore the pragmatic function of inshallah in the Indonesian context, which may be different from those identified in previous studies. Next, it is question or problems. There are two research questions in the study. Number 1, what is the nature of inshallah as a speech act? And then, what are the pragmatic functions of inshallah based on the combined taxonomy provided by previous studies? Let's continue to the summary, the author's theoretical framework. The first theory used in this research is the speech theory by Searle. He argued that when a speaker produces a speech, it also functions as an action. When a speaker said that, "I named this child Adam," and the speaker was the legitimate father of this child, the speech uttered could indicate real-world situation. That was the beginning of the emergence of speech act theory. Austin realized this phenomenon first, and Searle formulated the concept. Searle refused Austin's speech acts classification, and he divided speech acts into 5 categories based on their illocutionary effects intended by the speaker. The classifications are as follows: assertives, directive, commissive, expressive, and declarations. In English, Searle tried to elaborate synthetic analysis which mark each of the speech art. However, this synthetic analysis may not be very useful in analyzing speech in Indonesia. For Searle's example, a speech act can be manifested in more than one synthetic structures, as shown in the following conversation. Student X said, "Let's go to the movie tonight." Student Y answered, "I have to study for an exam." Synthetically, student Y reaction, "I have to study for an exam," is an assertion of his activities that night. However, in real life, student X would understand the student Y's utterance. It means to reject the X proposal. Searle's synthetic analysis might be irrelevant if it's applied to identify a speech data used in this study. Fortunately, Searle has provided an alternative approach which can be used as an alchemist's razor for this paper. The razor is called the felicity condition. Felicity conditions consist of illocutionary components in each speech act to create an intended perlocution. The following table shows 2 examples of felicity condition for 2 types of speech acts. The table illustrates that each speech act has to fulfill 4 illocutionary conditions. First, preparation condition. Second, certainty condition. Third, proportional content condition. And the fourth, essential condition. The combination of 4 conditions can be used to differentiate between request and promise. In this research, felicity conditions were utilized to investigate the nature of inshallah as a marker to specific speech act. The second question is related to the pragmatic function of inshallah. The framework from Pisgadam and Kermanashashi, Nazal Ibrahim and Muhammad Ali were also employed. The use of pragmatic approach to examine data have been conducted by a number of researchers, Argenta and Payarto, Hadavi and Wahyudi. Next section is explain the method used by author. 100 utterances containing inshallah were collected. The phrase inshallah was then identified and coded. The data were analyzed using the speech act theory by Searle and using the classification of pragmatic function of inshallah that generate from the combination of frameworks. Let's continue to the first method. Speech act theory by Searle. The combination of 4 conditions can be used to differentiate between request and promise so that we can recognize the speech act to which is related. Using the felicity condition framework, the utterances collected in the dataset were analyzed and titled. When it came to classification and identification, some challenges arose in the process, such as 1. The possibility of speech acts to the overlap, and the position of inshallah could be affected by following and preceding utterance. In order to increase reliability of data analysis, the analysis from the 3 researchers' assistants were compared and then discussed so that a consensus could be reached. The next method is using combination of framework from Piskadam and Keremanan Shashi, Nazal, Ibrahim, and Muhammad Ali. The frameworks produce the following taxonomy of the function of inshallah. Number 1, to strengthen speaker's utterance. Number 2, to show fatalistic attitude resigned to fate. Number 3, to show religious identity. Number 4, to wish for good things. Number 5, to curse something. Number 6, to evade future commitment. Number 7, to soften negative response. And number 8, to accept invitation implicitly. And then finally, we arrive on the last part, which is finding and suggestion. As you can see in the table, the felicity conditions of praise inshallah found in the dataset fulfill the felicity condition of commissive speech acts very frequently, 57%. Secondly, inshallah had quite a high attachment to expressive speech acts, 33%. Thus, commissive and expressive comprises 90% of the data collected. Directives were found in 7% of the total occurrence, and expressives count for 3% of the utterance. In the dataset, inshallah never occurred as a declarative market. The second question is related to the pragmatic function of inshallah. The study revealed that in Indonesian speeches, inshallah function to strike the speaker's utterance, to wish for a good outcome, to show a fatalistic attitude, and to show the religious identity. There were 3 functions from previous study which were not found in the study. That is, to avoid from future commitment, to soften negative response, and to accept invitation implicitly. The absence of these 3 functions could be due to the restricted nature of the data source. Cursing using inshallah was also not found in the dataset. However, 2 functions of inshallah which were not reported in previous study were identified in this finding. That is, to indicate the scheduled future plans and to convey a humor. The main shortcoming of this study is that the source of the data was restricted to speeches. The monological nature of the data source could be the reason why some pragmatic functions of inshallah identified in previous study were not found in the present study. To address this shortcoming, future research on the use of inshallah in other situations could be carried out. Well, that is all, guys. Did you get the point? Hopefully, this video gives you some useful information about the related study of pragmatic function of inshallah in Indonesia. For the last, I would like to say thank you for your time and your nice attention. See you in my next video and bye-bye. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.